Happy Memorial Day, T Squad. It's me, Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 4 review. Want to remind you guys to tune in tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time for this week's KE Guide, where I'll be breaking down all of the new television, movies, and documentaries that will be airing this week. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Okay, let's get into the episode review for last night's episode of The Housewives. So the episode begins with Kenya in rehearsal with Monyetta for her halftime performance at the Magic City Classic that her company, Kenya Moore Hair Care, will be sponsoring. I think that's a really dope idea, especially considering, the Kenya Moore Hair Care. I think that would have been really dope. I don't know if it actually happened, but it would have been really dope to see, and that was a really good marketing idea. So she talks to Monyetta about her performance at BravoCon and how it was a flop. She missed her steps. It was a little wobbly. I ain't gonna even lie. It really was. Maybe she'll get a chance to have a redo at BravoCon this year in Vegas. So Roy, her little white boo thing, calls, and she is just giddy. Her and her kitty are giddy, honey. And King was like, "You look sexy. I miss you." And I was like, okay. Honey, all right. So Kenya in her confessional says he's actually very good in bed. And I was like, Mark who? Honey, she is over Mark, honey, and got her a Roy. So Kenya says to Monyetta that she isn't going to tell the other girls that she's performing. Like, she wants it to be a surprise. So then we go to Sanya talking to her sister and her mom, and she tells them that Ross is ready for it just to be the two of them. And her sister Shari in her confessional was like, us all living together allows Sanya and Ross to move freely and not have to worry about Deuce. She's not selfish. She's self-centered. And her mom, who's in the confessional with her, agrees. And it's giving me very much, because that they've lived with each other even when they was in Texas or whatever, that when it's convenient for Sanya and Ross for them to live with each other, it's okay. But then when they get sick of them, okay, y'all can leave now. And like, y'all had me and my family uproot our whole life to come to Atlanta with y'all and gave us a year or two, you know what I'm saying, to get it together, to get our own place and, get our footing, here, even though we had our whole life and business and everything else back in Dallas. And now Ross saying, he want his house back, which is fine. But at the same time, like she said, y'all able to move the way y'all move because there's somebody here to always watch our son. And that's part of the reason why I do so bad now and don't listen to her, because she ain't probably, around to be his hands on with him. So, her mama says, don't take it personal. And Shari was like, well, it's hard not to. And leaves the table. And now Sanya feeling some type of way. She feel bad or whatever. And I just feel like, all them grown tell people can't be living under one roof. No way. So I think that it's best for them to leave. I don't know why they even came, to be honest. Like, that's a huge step when y'all already got a family and roots in one place. And mind you, Shari's husband is her assistant. And that's grunt work. Like, don't no man want to be doing this, especially as your brother-in-law. Like, that's just, the lines get blurred. It's just too much going on. So Marlo's sister, Crystal, helps with their Halloween shoot for her and the boys. And Courtney is apparently helping Marlo get her charges expunged off her record so she can carry a firearm. And I'm like, Marlo is the last person that need a gun, child. So Marlo was like, Candy will say she's worldwide and she helps the world. You've never helped me get any of my charges expunged. Who is she? Who is she? She ain't Columbo. What? Last I checked, she was a singer and an actress and a businesswoman and a reality star. I never heard of Candy being a lawyer. And why would she help you get your record expunged? Make that make sense. Like, Marlo just be saying stuff just to be saying stuff, to hate on people, and then want to sit up here and act like somebody done did something to her. And this is why it doesn't make her a good housewife. Like, I don't like her being a housewife because she's ridiculous. She pulls stuff out of her ass and she just starts stuff for no reason. It don't even be organic beefs. And then she do too much and take stuff too far. So Courtney arrives and Marlo was like, my nephew was shot by somebody he met at OLG and that person became his roommate. Marlo says Candy didn't send flowers or anything to the boy's funeral. Marlo was like, why does Candy keep having shootings? And Courtney was like, maybe it's the culture she creates. And Marlo says Candy is selfish. And this is what I mean by she goes too far. Because why are you trying to act like this girl just got multiple shootings going on at her restaurant? It was one time that this happened. Now you talking about, so why does Candy keep having shootings? What happened with your nephew and what happened at her restaurant are two totally different things. Yeah, your nephew might have met this young man at OLG, but that wasn't something that happened at OLG. It happened at their home. So you cannot blame that lady for that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like you trying to put that narrative out there to the world, like trying to ruin this girl business. Like, that's what I be talking about. She goes too far. Like, certain things need to be off limits, and people businesses, their livelihoods is one of them. Like, why would you even put that out there in the world? And okay, yeah, your feelings had the right to be hurt considering the fact that this boy worked for her and, she didn't send flowers or anything like that. Yeah, okay. But you had 2 years to say something. 2 years, girl. This happened 2 years ago, and you just not saying something now? Okay. So Sanya tells her mom and dad that Terrell quit. That's her sister's husband, and that Shari has been acting funny towards her ever since they had that conversation. She break down and cry because this is not how she envisioned things going when she asked everybody to move down to Atlanta. And I knew that boy wasn't going to be her assistant for too long. It was just too much. So Kenya prepares for her trip to Birmingham. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I did not like the way she was speaking to the nanny. Like on last week's episode when she was digging into her graphic design artist or whoever that was. But I was like, okay. But then I'm noticing a pattern this week with the way she talked to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ken, you got to work on that. You can't be talking to people crazy just because they work for you. Absolutely not. So the day of the trip, Candy and Drew can't come. So only person like Kenya got that she like mess with is Monyetta. And they, are just building a friendship. So Kenya tells them that they're going to a dance class and a luncheon when they get there. And so the ladies were shocked by this. They didn't know that that's what they were doing. And I don't think that that's fair to have people come on a trip and then they not know what they're doing, because you don't know what you'll need, how to dress for the occasion. Just like for my birthday last year, I had a whole itinerary plan and certain things were surprises, but I let everybody know, okay, we're going to be doing something and you'll need to bring this type of outfit. You know what I'm saying? So she could have at least done that. So Kenya, mind you, got a cold. Marlo got a cold. She's sick. She doing all this. And I'm like, Marlo, have some couth about yourself. She did that several times on camera. Like, that is so nasty. Like, ugh. So I would have wanted to go home, being in between them, child. So, they go to the little bucking class, and it was a cute little fun scene to see everybody dancing and all that stuff. Then after that, they go to eat. And so when they're at the restaurant, that's when Kenya learns that Bryce from Groove Theory is Courtney's baby daddy and on-off again boyfriend. So she was like, oh my God, I did a movie with him back in the day, twice. She was like, he was a very handsome man. So Courtney FaceTimed him, was like, look. And so Kenya was like, hi. She was like, he was a real good looking man back then. Yeah, because he don't look like that no more. Like, he ain't horrible looking. He just don't look the same. I don't know if it's the scruffy face or what. I don't know. It just, it ain't giving what it used to give, child. So, Sheree asks was everybody getting along at the concert? And Kenya was like, someone was saying there was a fight between Drew and Marlo. And I was like, it ain't no somebody, it was Marlo that told her and Monyetta. So Kenya was like, she was just very upset with Drew. And Marlo was like, you weren't even there. And Kenya was like, hold up, Marlo, you're talking over me. And Marlo was like, I could talk over you. Who are you not to talk over? And Kenya was like, B, that was rude. And she was like, what did you say? Because of what? And Kenya was like, I have not been nice to you this whole time. And Kenya was like, Drew said you were attacking her for no reason. And you were. Let's keep it a buck. And she was like, and you were standing over her and being very aggressive. Marlo was like, no, I was not. And Kenya was like, that's not the truth. And so, of course, Marlo lied in that scene because she was very well being aggressive, yelling all in that girl's face, calling her out her name, doing all this yelling and screaming and just carrying on or whatever. And her getting smart with Kenya when Kenya was being very nice to her. Like, she wasn't being mean to Marlo or being rude to her, anything like that. So Marlo did start this beef or whatever between her and Kenya. And it's just typical Marlo doing team too much and being just rude and mean for no reason. But then want to cry wolf when somebody say something to her. So after eating, they all head to their rooms. And when it's time to go to the event at the school or whatever that the school is throwing, Monyetta has to change because she got on like this silver romper or whatever. And Key was like, you got to change. It's supposed to be a classy event, this, that, and the third. And then they end up leaving without Marlo and Sanya because they taking too long. And when they get there, they realize that Monyetta could have wore what she originally had on because it's really like, it's not even a cocktail hour. It's like more of a happy hour. And you got everybody, being fans of theirs, asking for pictures. And it just wasn't what I guess Kenya had been told it was going to be. So Marlo and Sanya get there. And Marlo goes to the bar and asks for champagne with the fire or whatever to come to the table, just doing too much. It's like, girl, sit down. So production ends up coming and getting Kenya and saying that they want them to leave because them being there is distracting from the event because everybody is too busy focusing on them. And then you got the sparklers and the cameras, like it's just seemed too much. But I'm like, obviously, she told y'all cameras is going to be there. Y'all asked her to come. So y'all asked her to come to then tell her to leave. Girl, I would have been pissed off. Like, cause y'all wasted my time, had me putting on my good clothes for nothing. So they get back to the hotel and Kenya goes to her room because Brooklyn is there. And the girls decide that they're going to go to Kenya's room because I guess because she turned in early because it was literally like maybe about 9 something. And so they get to her room and Sheree knocks on the door like a normal person. Marlo then decides to kick the door. Sheree knocks again like a normal person. Sanya knocks like a normal person. Marlo then bangs on the door, telling some Summer! That's her middle name. And Kenya was like, who the F is that banging on my goddamn door? What the F is wrong with you? And I would have been pissed off too because why are y'all knocking on my door? Why are y'all playing nigga knock on my door? Like, how old are we? And my child is in here. I'm pretty sure it was time for Brooklyn to go to bed. It looked like she was in there either taking a bath or getting them ready for bed or something. I don't know. But regardless, why are y'all playing on my door? So Marlo was like, Summer! And Kenya was like, my child is here. And Sanya was like, yeah, y'all, she said her child is in there. We not about to do that. And so Marlo was like, no, that's BS. Get your A out here and put Brooklyn in another room. Stop being disrespectful with your broke ass. And it's like, where is all this coming from? Like, once again, Marlo does team too much. That wasn't necessary. It wasn't called for. And I know you didn't part your big lips to say, go put her daughter in another room so she could come outside. What? But then you want people to talk about how good of a Monty you are. Girl, bye. You are a cruel, crass, uncouth, uneducated woman. And it don't matter how many designer clothes you slap on your back. It still does not take away from how ignorant you are. And you need to be happy, because if I was Kenya, I would have backslapped you, especially when you made that comment about put Brooklyn in another room. Who you talking to? And once again, that girl didn't do nothing to you to deserve that. She goes too far. I hope this her last year with a peach. I really honestly do, because she does not deserve it. She doesn't fit the mold. She do too much, and she goes entirely too far. Overall, I'm going to give last night's episode of Atlanta. I'm going to give last night's episode an A-. It was good. It was good. It kept me entertained. It was funny parts and everything. Next week seems like things are going to go further downhill. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out. Once again, you guys, make sure you tune into the KE Guide tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.